Don't text friends when studying. Set a boundary to focus on your homework and assignments. What I'm suggesting is that the time you set aside for studying is strictly for this. Instead, be intentional with the time that you want to spend with friends, but guard the time that's for your homework so you'll find success at school and ultimately be able to get the job that you dream of. Plan study breaks into your schedule. It's important that you take breaks so you don't become mentally fatigued and aren't effective in the time that you spend studying. When I was going through high school, the advice I was given was 40 minutes of studying and then around a 20-minute break and continue on this schedule. You'll need to work out what rhythm is right for you. It will make you more effective so that your mind doesn't become tired and you're actually able to take in what you're working on. Otherwise, it's like staring at a blank page when you've got your textbook open or you're reading a book for your English class. Have a break between when classes end and you begin doing your homework. It goes with what I just said in tip number 2. It's so that you're not mentally fatigued when you sit down to do your homework. This break could be as simple as the school bus ride home. If you are living near where you go to school, either in the neighborhood or in a dorm, it would be helpful to take a short break before you dive into your homework. And again, it's so that you're feeling fresh and alert when you're doing your homework so you're able to get the best grades possible. Get the contact details of other class members so you're able to get caught up if you miss a class because of extracurricular activities or sickness. I don't want to make you feel stress or put pressure on yourself if you've taken a day off school because you're sick or you've had to have an operation. It's important that you take the time to rest and recuperate. What I'm talking about is being proactive so you're staying up with where the class is at when you return to school. I just finished reading a news article. It helps a great deal with students' overall average if they're proactive and can stay on top of assignments when individual students miss a specific day. So I share this with you in the hopes that it will help you succeed in your classes. Buy a calendar to plot out major assignment and exam studying to budget your time effectively. So when I do my own planning, I put down the big things like eating, meals, sleeping, and the exercise I do at the pool each night, and then I build my days around this. I'm suggesting you do the same with your school studying so that you're able to plan out when to do independent study units so that you're not cramming them all at the last minute. The type of calendar I'm suggesting you get is a day planner. I'm not talking about a 12-page calendar that you hang on the wall, but something that you're going to be able to plan and write out several details. So if you have an independent study unit and there's 5 components on it, you'll be able to make a note of what you're going to work on specific days and not be crammed with a little box that would be on a wall calendar. If necessary, take time off work for studying. Sometimes this is necessary, especially when preparing for exams and college or university applications in your final year of high school. Where I do my physiotherapy is a community gym. Lifeguarding tends to be a high school employment. So there's been several students that have taken 1 or 2 weeks off work when they were at their busiest, completing their independent study units, preparing for exams, as well as their university or college applications. And they all spoke of needing that time, and they couldn't both be at their job and get the things done necessary for their education. It's really important that you work and apply yourself at school. It's so that you'll find success when you get into the workforce. I understand that the money's important. I want to encourage you to find the balance that's right for you, and that how I'd say this is that you're able to get the work done that you need each day for school and aren't compromising it through your part-time job. Have a quiet place to study. It may improve your marks if you make use of your school or public library. What I'm saying is to get away from the distractions, younger siblings, TV, even if there's tension at home, so you're able to sit there and focus. Because remember that when you're spending time working on your assignments, even if it's hard right now, it's going to reward you. Your high school studies and your college or university is investing in your life. It's going to help give you a better quality of life if you'll stick at it. So it's important that when you sit down to do your work, you do so without disruption, and then time for socializing is during the breaks that you build into your schedule. Address the stress in your life. If you're needing help, ask for it. So when you're going through your teenage years, it's not just your body that changes, but also your mind. So the life skill of being able to cope with stress is the same as muscle building. It gets easier as you have more practice and life experience with it. Stress will also keep you from being able to focus on your schoolwork. So I encourage you to speak to an adult in your life you trust if you're needing the support that from whatever's going on in your life. I remember back when I was in high school, when my parents separated, 2 of my teachers pulled me aside and asked me what was wrong, because my personality was so out of the ordinary that they were concerned about me. So I want to ask or suggest that you do the same, that you'll take care of yourself if you're finding life difficult or something that's happened that's been stressful, so you have support, and again, that your marks aren't going to suffer because of it. Practice taking effective notes in class. This is a skill you'll need for college or university. It takes a lot of practice making effective notes. I want to encourage you to start this when you're in high school, so that when you go to university or college, you're set up for success. If you're finding this hard, ask one of the teachers to help you, or the student services department. They are there for a reason, and there's no shame in asking help that you're legitimately needing. There are resources at your school specifically designated to support those students who do need the extra effort or the time spent with them working through these issues. If you are finding a particular subject hard, make arrangements for a tutor. This is also something that I needed to do for a math class while I was in high school. It's not about being stupid. It's about taking the time that you need to understand the concepts that are being presented. So the teacher may say something one way, and a tutor may explain the same thing, but using different words in expressing it. It may be what you need for that item to click in your mind and be able to understand it, and then prove that you understand it when it comes time for the test or exam on that subject material. It's the same thing in day-to-day life. If you ask two people the same question about the weather, you may get different responses where some person may describe it in one way and someone else may give a 2 or 3 word answer that's less descriptive. They're both talking about the same thing, but it's a different way of expressing it. So it's the same thing with a tutor and helping you one-on-one. A tutor also gives you the opportunity to ask questions as you're going along, whereas in class, you can't spend as much time addressing a particular student's questions. So a tutor's the appropriate tool for these situations. For those of you really struggling with school, consider undergoing testing to determine your learning style. There's more than one way of learning, but teachers may not teach to the learning style you have. So undergoing the testing to determine your learning style will help you figure out tips and strategies to learn in the classroom that will meet your needs. So I'll give you an example. I have a learning disability. So when I was in college, one of the strategies I was given was to bring a portable tape recorder with me to class and record the lectures. Then the instruction given to me was to not make notes during the class, simply focus on the teacher. After class, go back to my dorm room and play the lecture back, and while I was playing it back, make the notes at that time that I would use to study for my exams. So it's this type of thing that will come through the time spent testing for your learning style. And then you'll develop a specific strategy that you can apply throughout your life that will help you with your schooling, studying, as well as in the workplace. Even though you're off to the job force, it doesn't mean that you stop working. I'll use computers as an example. When you get a new computer, you need to understand how it works to use the programs on it. It's the same thing when you're in the workforce. You need to stay current in your field of expertise. So I want to encourage you to master this now at a young age so it will serve you throughout your adult life and make it less frustrating for you when you are learning new things. Consider taking a summer school course to reduce your workload during the school year and improve your overall grade average. So instead of taking 4 courses during the semester, it means that you would only be responsible for 3. It would be very helpful if you took a heavier subject, like a math course that requires a lot of thought during summer school, so that the homework that you have during the school year is lessened and becomes manageable. It's the same thing when you're at college or university. Sometimes there's a course that's offered in the week before semester 2 starts, where you have class in the morning and afternoon, and then in the evening you do your reading or whatever it is for that class. It means that during the school semester, you have less work to do. It's a tool for budgeting time and finding success at school. This is the end of the tips that I have for you. I just want to close with a word of encouragement from my own life. When I finished high school, my final semester's average was around 92%. I had done really well during that last semester. As I was in my final year of high school, I had more influence on the courses I wanted to do, and the subjects I took I really enjoyed. During my first semester at college, my average dropped down to 60%, and I was on student probation. I needed a lot of help at that time. Some of the things that I learned I've shared in this video to help you avoid the same set of challenges as I've had to deal with. I only want to encourage you that it is worth the time, the effort, and addressing the frustration head on so you are successful. It really will pay off in the end if you'll put in the effort and really apply yourself. I also want to challenge those of you in life who've effectively been given a golden spoon, where there's not a financial concern in your household. There's many people that go to school that have financial stress at home, or there's stress in the family of other topics. I want to encourage you to be grateful for what you have and not take advantage of it. There is a time in your life where you'll need to work hard to apply yourself, and if you get used to everything being handed to you, you're going to find life smacks you in the face, so to speak, once you're out in the workforce. I want to encourage you to be grateful for what you have, but to have real expectations for your life and not set yourself up for failure. Thanks for this time that you spent with me today. I've enjoyed making this for you. To me, this is more than a video. It's investing in your life. I care for you, and I want to see you successful during your studies. Thanks for this time that you've spent with me. Bye for now.